Back here at Labatt Memorial Park as they continue to introduce both teams for this gold medal matchup. Team Quebec doing battle with Team Ontario. We will get to the action in just a few moments, but we'll continue to set this one up for you. And Ted, talk a little bit about Team Quebec. You know, they come in as the underdog to this game by way of, you know, the stats on paper and the records. But, you know, they've got a lot of momentum and a lot of excitement behind their team.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a very strong team. The team actually comes from Lachine, Quebec, which is just outside of Montreal. They actually came with two teams to the tournament this year, Quebec 1 and Quebec 2. And the Quebec 1 team, obviously, their best team. Typically in Quebec, what they do is put together an all-star squad where players come from all over the province. But this particular team from Lachine is predominantly from Montreal, and so they're going to be a little bit more cohesive. Interesting thing about Quebec is they always have a lot of animation. They always are very excited. I'm just looking at the guys right now. They're lining up on the first baseline, and nearly the whole team has had the same exact mohawk haircut to build team morale. I saw as they came into the ballpark today off the bus. A lot of animation, a lot of screaming and yelling, and they have come equipped with a lot of fans because they have two different teams. Obviously, in the stadium, they're going to have the other team and the parents from both teams. So there's a lot of people here from Quebec. So I suspect that the fan base is going to be a little bit tilted towards Ontario, but not significantly.
Talk a little bit about, if you're the Ontario pitcher coming into this game, we talked about the fact that Team Quebec is animated. They're really upbeat. They're really excited. If you get behind, get a runner on base, start to, you know, get into a situation, they're going to be on you. What do you got to do as a pitcher to just keep that momentum going your way instead of going Quebec's way?
Yeah, well, in a tournament like this, you obviously want to save your ace for the last game, and you hope that guy is not only your ace in terms of having the best stuff, but having the best mental stuff to be able to deal with situations like that. Because, yeah, I'll guarantee you, as soon as we see a run for the Quebec team, or for the converse of the Ontario team, what you're going to see is the fans getting really excited, both dugouts getting, or the team scoring, the dugout getting really excited, and the pitcher on the mound needing to be composed, be able to deal with that kind of intensity going on around him, at the same time having calm. You might remember the movie with Kevin Costner many years ago where he was in the mound. You could see he created a silence in his head every time he threw the pitch so that he would get into that zone. And that's what you need to do in a situation like that, that no matter how many times they get on base, whether it's a walk, whether it's a hits batsman, you got to come back with that next batter with the same focus and intensity.
And mix that in with the nerves of being in this game. We talked about it. For some, it's the only championship game they'll ever be a part of playing at Labatt Park. You know, you got to mix that in with nerves, and it should be interesting to see how these kids come out in the first couple innings. Yeah,
I talked about this earlier, that the emotions will definitely be filled up inside these young men. Some of them only 16, some of them 17, 18. And as I mentioned, some of these, they're never going to see a more exciting game than this one right here. Obviously, it's on television. It's at night. You can see the fans starting to get excited, and it's for the whole enchilada. The claim to fame is the national championship. So they're going to have to deal with a lot of emotions. And I suspect we're going to see some of the first couple innings a little bit of rough around the edges by both teams.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to, I think Tom Volk talked about it as well. He thinks that whatever pitcher walks the least amount of batters, you think that's what it will come down to, because it's key. You got to throw strikes. You got to let your defense help you in a game like this.
I think he's absolutely right, but at the same token, the key to walking that fine line is throwing strikes but keeping the ball down. And the pitchers who can keep the ball down at the knees to the level and can throw strikes are definitely going to be the team to be favored in this game. And you know what? You got to keep mixing. We talked about it in the bronze medal game. The one thing about the left-handed pitcher for Team BC was he was throwing a lot of off-speed pitches repetitively, and it looked as though in that sixth inning the London Badgers caught on to that one. The key in this game, if you're a pitcher, keep mixing things up. Absolutely. You want to keep people on their toes, and so the second time through the order, show them something different. And unfortunately for the BC team, perhaps they were a little bit thin on pitching, weren't able to go to anyone they could really rely on in the bullpen. And so when the pitcher for BC started throwing a lot of those breaking balls that were predictable, finally Ontario was able to time those bats. And when I was talking to Tom Volk, he's seen both of these teams. He said that both teams have at least 3 pitchers who can throw 100 pitches here tonight. So we're going to see the best of the best from both of these clubs when it comes to the arms. Well, that's fantastic then. Both the managers have done a good job of keeping track of their pitchers and managing their pitch counts. And you talked about the fact that both teams add a few players from outside of their hometown typically they're going to be pitchers, and the guys at the end of the bench you're going to save for the very end. So that's fantastic to hear. That means we're going to see some quality pitching from the start to end. Now,
we've talked a lot about the pitching. Let's talk a little bit about the offense. If you're a hitter going up, you know you're facing one of the best. What do you got to do as a hitter to try and psych that pitcher out?
Well, we talked about this in the last broadcast, that one of the things that kids this age have the most difficulty learning is that patience, to have a plan at home plate. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more throughout the broadcast. We'll throw this one right back to break, and we'll be right back with more baseball here on Rogers Television.
Beautiful Labatt Memorial Park as we get set for the gold medal game. We've had enough previews. We've looked at this as every angle. It's time to play some baseball as Team Ontario will be the home team in this matchup, going head-to-head with Team Quebec. Gold medal on the line. So we're almost set to get things underway. Get a look at Team Quebec.
Well, and Quebec has almost an advantage, at least in the early sense of the ball game, because when you finally go out there, Ontario, the home team, is the one that has to have a pitcher throw strikes when they first get out there. Even if Quebec's a little bit jumpy, at least they can go to the plate right now and get through that without the pressure of having the game on their every waiting movement, right? When you had a pitcher here for Windsor, Tecumseh, Tim Black here, who's going to fill that pressure more than anyone else in this field in this first inning.
Tim Black, one of the pickups actually for this Tecumseh squad. He was from Mount Hope, so he's from the Hamilton area, so he's one of the 5 players that were picked up by this Tecumseh team for this Canadian Baseball Championship. 6'3", pitcher out of Mount Hope, Ontario. Tim Black going to the mound for Tecumseh, seeing if he's the guy that's going to lead him to the Canadian Championships.
Yeah, he's definitely a large gentleman, as you mentioned, 6'3", 200 pounds, and looks like he throws at a very nice clip. So we'll see what other kind of stuff he has, and whether he has the control to get to this lineup.
Team Quebec's lineup, they'll be led off by their catcher, followed by the shortstop and third baseman. Those are going to be the first 3 batters they'll be facing here in the top of the first inning. Samuel Grolou will be leading it off for Team Quebec. He'll be followed by Simon Martineau, who will be playing shortstop tonight for Team Quebec. And the third hitter, he was the catalyst during their semi-final matchup, is Christophe Richard. He went 4 for 4 with 3 singles and 1 double and 1 RBI in their 8-4 victory over Team BC in the semifinals to advance to this championship game. Now this Team Quebec team finished their regular season actually 35-13, so a phenomenal season for them, and then went 4-2 in the Quebec Baseball Challenge to advance here to the Canadian Championships. Enough talk, time to get things underway here as the first batter steps in. Tim Black looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Fastball outside part of the plate, and they started off with a strike to get things underway here in the gold medal game. Team Ontario, Team Quebec, national title on the line. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside part of the plate for strike 2. 0-2. Black painting the corners here in the early going.
See Black with an intense stare on the mound there. Very focused and throwing 2 great fastballs in the outside corner there so far.
0-2 pitch. That's on the outside part of the plate. Fouled back by the batter, Grou.
So far, Black seems to like his fastball. He's thrown 3 in a row, and here comes another one right here.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one misses high. Moves the count to 1-2. That'll be something we'll have to watch. He's been steadily going to the fastball. See if he's going to mix things up here and go off speed. 1-2 the count. No one out here in the top of the first inning of the gold medal game at Labatt Park. Canadian Midget Baseball Championships. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one's hit to the third baseman. He comes in, makes the throw over to first base. And Grelul is retired here to start things off. That was Power with a nice play over at the hot corner.
Yeah, I liked how Power came in on that to get the nice hop there so we can make a throw. You see the replay here, chopped into the ground, and he does a good job of coming to get that bounce before it bounced again, making a strong throw to first base.
Casey Power with a nice play down at third base for the Tecumseh Thunder to get things underway. 1 out. Shortstop comes to the plate. Simon Martineau coming to plate for Team Quebec. 1 out here in the top of the first. Fastball misses high and inside, ball 1.
It might be a 2-hour or so drive down to Tecumseh from London, but there seems to be a lot of fans here for Tecumseh Thunder tonight.
Another fastball misses high and outside, moves the count to 2-0. Black going mostly to his fastball here in the early going, just in the first couple of batters. See if Quebec's going to sit back on that. That fastball gets in there for strike 1. 2-1 the count, 1 out here in the top of the first.
You see Cunningham for Tecumseh with the interesting one leg out kind of stance, almost like Tony Pena behind home plate there.
That one misses on the outside part of the plate. Count moves to 3-1 now. Hitters count definitely for Team Quebec here. That one misses outside one more time. Tim Black walks a guy. And Team Quebec has a runner on first here in the early going.
You see a lot of the misses by Black there, missing on the outside stance. There you see the catcher's stance there, the unorthodox crouch, the leg one, leg out, as I mentioned, like Tony Pena back in the day for the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Boston Red Sox.
Christophe Richard coming to the plate for Team Quebec. We mentioned that he was the offensive catalyst in their semifinal win against Team BC. 4 for 4 with 3 singles, 1 double, and 1 RBI in that 8-4 victory. Black looks in, gets his sign, checks the runner at first. Here comes the pitch. Misses on the outside part of the plate. 1-0. Get a look there at some of the Team Quebec fans down the first base line, waving around their blue and white flag, showing the support.
Very animated indeed. Prior to the game, we saw one of the players doing some kind of ritual dance in front of the first base side there to get the fans all revved up.
That one misses high and inside, moves the count to 2-0. Black having some trouble trying to find the strike zone here in the early going. Already walked 1 man on 5 pitches. Now he's down 2-0 to Quebec's third hitter, Richard. That pitch is fouled straight back. Richard was all over that one. Just missed it though, fouling it back. 2-1 the count here.
The London Badgers actually faced this very same Quebec team from Le Champ and defeated them 5-0. So that tells you how close the competition is between that bronze medal game and the gold medal game.
Black looks in, gets a sign. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Right on the outside part of the plate, paints the Black, and 2-2 is now the count. 1 out here in the top of the first.
Yes, we do. Ask coach.
Richard looks down to third base, gets his sign. Tim Black looks in, gets his. That one misses on the outside part of the plate. We'll have a full count here with 1 out in the top of the first. Get a look at Martineau, see if he's going to be on the move here with a full count pitch.
Well, there's no question the Black's going to come back with his fastball, the pitch that he's been relying on predominantly this inning. We'll see what we do when we have power versus power.
Looks in, gets the sign. Here comes a 3-2 pitch. Off speed, driven into the gap in right center field. Martineau's chugging around second. He's going to go into third, standing up. Single by Richard, and Team Quebec's got some momentum going here in the top of the first.
Well, an interesting pitch selection there by Black. I thought that he'd be coming back with the fastball, but presumably prior to the ball game, they talked about the fact that Richard is hot. He's the best hitter in the lineup, and let's not throw him too many fastballs. But there you see Richard doing a great job going down and getting that slider with 2 strikes.
That'll bring the cleanup hitter to the plate, first baseman Simon Brisebois. Also was pretty hot during his game with the semifinal matchup with Team BC. He went 1 for 2 with a sac fly and 1 RBI in that victory. One out here in the top of the first inning, and Team Ontario in a little bit of trouble. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Nothing the score. Black looks in, gets a sign. Here comes the pitch. Paints the outside corner for strike 1.
Well, we talked a lot about the outside of this broadcast, Jeremy, about the things to look for. And here's the first situation, some adversity for Black to deal with. A man on first and third with 1 out. Dealing with a lot of excited Quebec fans in the stands, the national championship on the line. Let's see what he does in this situation.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Brisebois, and that moves the count to 0-2. Martineau down at third base. Richard over at first. Brisebois looks down, gets a sign from the third base coach. Tim Black looks in for the sign. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's left up, and Brisebois gets a piece of it, fouling it back. Keeps it alive at 0-2.
See Cunningham putting his mitt up in the air, asking for that high fastball, but that one there by Black just coming a little bit close to being too hittable there. He put it just a little bit under where he wanted it, because that one there could have easily been driven. We'll see what he does with this 0-2 pitch. Presumably he'll come with a bit of a slider. No, another high fastball.
That one's up one more time. Brisebois fouls it down the first base side, out of play, and it stays at 0-2. Both of those pitches, you got to think in an 0-2 situation, got to be a little higher than that.
Yeah, just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want to put it to so high that it's never going to be swung at. But certainly that one getting a little bit too close for comfort for where a player like Brisebois, your cleanup hitter, can go up there and get it.
0-2 the count, 1 out here in the top of the first. That pitch is hit foul down the first base side. Brisebois battling here with Black in the top of the first inning. His pitch count's starting to get up. A walk, a single, 3-2 count. Now 0-2. He's fouled off 3 or 4 pitches. Making Black work here in the early going.
And they've got to throw a breaking pitch in this situation or a changeup. You just can't be throwing that many fastballs in a row to a cleanup hitter.
Umpire calls time. He's going to clean off the home plate.
Looks like some discussion going on about the stance of the player for Quebec and whether or not his foot was in the batter's box. The plate appeared to be clean when the umpire stepped in front of home plate there.
Black looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one's grounded right in front. Martineau charges for home. Tag at the plate. Cunningham holds his ground, makes the play. Good job by Black. Makes the play. Cunningham holds his ground.
Yeah, great job by Cunningham to hold his position there. Although we see another play out at second base. Oh, time was called. Looked like Windsor thought they had another out there at second base. There you see the replay, the play at home plate there. A little bit of physical there. And you see Cunningham ask the umpire, why isn't he being tossed, or why isn't he, how can he get away with that? Now you see the players arguing about the fact that they didn't believe the play was under time. They found the runner trying to sneak away from. Good job there by Black to turn around and see that, and apparently nab the runner at second base, but the umpire's calling time.
Yeah, I believe they're going to say that time was called by the umpire down at third base, so we'll have runners at first and second now, and I got to think that in that situation, not a very smart move by Martineau to go on that one. Ground ball back to the pitcher. It's at least got to be back past the pitcher if you're going for home.
Yeah, very poor decision. It's one of those things you make on the spur of the moment. You have to judge it, and it was quite clearly the ball he didn't want to go on. You could see that Black even had some time to chase him down and potentially tag him and eventually throw it to the catcher. You can see Cunningham not too pleased about the physical contact, but that's part of baseball, and he does a good job of holding on to the ball.
Runners at first and second now, and that brings up the number 5 hitter, Simon Landry.
You see him?
Things are excited enough in a national championship, but they just took it to a whole nother level there with another play at home plate and some physical contact. We'll see if there's any repercussions from that, but you really just can't afford to try and send any messages in a game like this. It's 7 innings in a national championship.
First pitch for a strike. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Inside corner, paints the black. 0-2.
Nice fastball by Black there. Looks like he's getting it up to around 83, possibly even 84 miles an hour.
0-2 the count. 2 outs here in the top of the first. Misses down low. Moves the count to 1-2. Key situation for Tecumseh. They were in a tough spot. Did a good job to get that out. If they can get this final out here, they can get out of this thing.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of dealing with this adversity here. You see Black throwing strikes when he needs to.
Paints the inside corner for strike 3. Tim Black gets out of that one. No runs on the board on one hit. Tecumseh retires the side. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Ontario Bats come to the plate right after this on Rogers TV. It's a late night here at Labatt Memorial Park as we get set for the bottom half of the first inning here in the gold medal game of the Canadian Midget Baseball Championships. Get a look at the pitcher for Team Quebec, Gabriel Lapierre. Will go to the hill for Team Quebec, and he'll be facing off against the Tecumseh Thunder offense.
Lapierre has yet to throw, as you can see from the stat line there in the tournament, as with the pitcher Black for Tecumseh. Talked about it in the previous broadcast, the fact that there are very strict rules. There's a number of pitches you can throw in a game without having to sit out for a couple days. So they've saved their aces for this ball game. I think you mentioned that Tom
Volk. Tom Volk said that they've got a lot of pitchers out there to use. So should be a good one, definitely, as we could see a pitchers matchup, but we'll see if Lapierre can shake off the nerves a little bit here in the bottom of the first. Tim Black had to deal with them in the top half.
It's a very interesting strategy that the managers must employ in order to get to the finals without using their best pitcher. Obviously, it's nothing like the playoffs in the major leagues where you have a 7-game series. You throw your ace game 1, ace game 4, and if necessary, ace game 7. You've got to really save that ace and hope your other guys can get you there.
Lampkin hits it down the line for Team Ontario. Shortstop's there to make the play for Team Quebec, and Lampkin is retired to get things underway here in the bottom of the first.
Nice play by Martineau there. That's one of those balls right on the grass behind third base that there's always sometimes there's some communication problems, but that's definitely the shortstop's ball. And obviously he does a good job there calling his players off because you can see the other guys relenting there and letting him make that play.
One out here in the bottom of the first inning. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Alex Murphy, number 14, to the plate for Team Ontario, and their semifinal matchup with the London Badgers. Alex Murphy had a big game, going 2 for 3 with one of the 3 runs batted in for Tecumseh in their 3-0 victory over London to advance to this championship game. We'll see if he can keep that momentum going here in this finals against Team Quebec. Here comes the pitch. Inside part, hit down the first base line. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman. Dives, he just misses. That one falls in, and Murphy's going to have a single to get things going here in the bottom of the first.
Great effort there by Belanger to try and make that play laying out there behind first base. You could see him, quite an effort there, but just not reachable. Good job by Murphy to just put something in play and to get on base for his teammates. Murphy's been hot all tournament long, not just the game coming into this one.
Andrew Cooper coming to the plate for the Tecumseh Thunder. the number 3 hitter and shortstop for this Team Ontario squad. Lapierre checks the runner over at first. Here comes the pitch. Fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike 1.
See a good look at Cooper here. Really looks like a ball player. He's got that eye black on, the wristband there, spitting down to his side there. Really feeling like a big leaguer right now.
0-1 the count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Here comes the pitch. That one's hit up the middle. Great play by Martineau on the dive. Throws it back to first. Double play. What a play by the shortstop of Team Quebec. And Ontario's retired in the bottom of the first thanks to a great play by Martineau to end this one off. We'll go to the top of the second here on Rogers TV right after this. Canadian flag waving proudly here at Labatt Memorial Park as we get set to crown a national champion here at the Canadian Midget Baseball Championships. Team Quebec, Team Ontario doing battle for the Canadian crown. The number 6 hitter for Team Quebec coming to the plate now. Matthew Joly. Joly playing left field for Team Quebec here in this gold medal game. That one fouled down the first base line. Joly a little behind on that one. Owen won the count now. Cunningham looks over for the signs from the coaches. Black gets his sign. Here it comes. Fouled back down the first base line. Moves the count to 0-2. 0-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. That one misses down low. Moves the count to 1-2.
Stance by Cunningham there. The problem with that stance, it makes it very difficult to hop around when necessary. If you have a ball in the dirt, you need to pounce on it. But so far not having any troubles. You see a great location there by Black in the outside corner.
Back-to-back strikeouts going back to the bottom of the first for Black. Both of them looking, doing a great job of painting those corners. One out here in the bottom of the second inning. And that brings up the designated hitter for Team Quebec. Patrick Boutin coming to the plate for Team Quebec. He watches a fastball for a strike to get things underway. Black looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch, fouled down the first base line.
Bit of a changeup there by Black. Not a significant amount of speed under his fastball. He might want to get a few more MPHs off that.
Getting ahead here in the top of the second inning. That fastball on the outside corner. Swing and a miss. And strikeout number 2 of the inning for Black.
He's doing a great job of owning that outside corner on righties. Although he's throwing a lot of fastballs, you don't see him get throwing any meatballs yet. He's throwing some really good pitches on the outside corner.
Center fielder coming to the plate now for Team Quebec. Pitch on the outside part of the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 1. After trouble in the first, Black dealing here in the second inning. That one misses on the outside part. Moves the count to 1-1. Team Quebec not able to use the momentum garnished from the defensive play in the first inning here in the top of the second. 2-1 the count as that one misses low and outside. Fouled straight back there by the center fielder. Moves the count to 2-2.
So the pitch prior to this one looked like Cunningham was setting up inside and Black throwing it outside. If he wants to make sure that these batters are able to hit that outside pitch, he's going to have to establish that inside fastball. There you see him trying to go for it again here.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. 2 outs here in the top of the second. That one was well into the dirt. Moves the count to 3-2.
The fans making a lot of noise here. Hear a lot of whistles out in the stands. Fortunately, not vuvuzelas, or else I'd have to put in some earplugs.
3-2 the count. Swing and a miss, and Black strikes out the side. Team Quebec goes down in order. Team Ontario comes to the plate in the bottom of the second. Right after this on Rogers TV. Good look at Riverside Drive here in London, Ontario, as we continue with the gold medal game here at the Canadian Midget Baseball Championships. Bottom of the second inning, no score on the board. Team Quebec doing battle with Team Ontario, and the catcher, the cleanup hitter, Eric Cunningham, coming to the plate for the Tecumseh Thunder. Pitch misses high for ball one.
Cunningham went 1 for 3 with an RBI in the qualifying game against the London Badgers.
Swing and a miss there from Cunningham, moves the count to 1-1.
That's a big hack there, Jeremy. He looked like he was going for the big one.
Trying to put that one into the river just on the other side of the fence out in left field. Off-speed pitch for a strike, moves the count to 1-2.
Well, a fantastic play at the end of the last inning for Quebec, but unfortunately not able to turn that momentum into any runs.
That one misses, just misses on the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 2-2. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate. That one misses, moves the count to 3-2 now. No one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Cleanup batter at the plate for the Tecumseh Thunder. Swing, that one's fouled down the first base line into the stands. Keeps the count at 3-2.
Here we see the play at the end of the last inning for Quebec in the field. Fantastic diving play by Martineau, and then having the wherewithal to double up the runner at first base.
That ball misses low and outside, and Cunningham will head down to first base. A walk to kick things off here in the bottom of the second, and that was one of the things we talked about in the pregame show is, you know, these pitchers in this situation got to limit their walks.
Absolutely. You don't want to give up anything free here. You see Lapierre almost trying to throw that one too hard. You can see him really giving that follow-through all he had there. It looks like he probably was trying to overpower Cunningham there.
Runner on first base, and it brings up, swing and a miss right there. It brings up the right fielder, Michael Foster, who pitched a gem of a game in the semifinal against the London Badgers, is now playing out in right field here in this one. 0-1 the count. Lapierre checks the runner over at first. Here comes the pitch. On the outside part of the plate.
Foster was outstanding against the Badgers in the semis, throwing 6 in the third innings with 10 strikeouts. And a lot of those strikeouts coming in pressure situations with men on base, and the Badgers unable to capitalize on that. So I'm sure that's the game they'll look back on next season and be disappointed about.
1-1 the count now. Lapierre looks in, gets his sign, throws back to first. Cunningham back in plenty of time over at first base.
So third baseman for Quebec playing even with the bag, being careful just in case that Team Ontario tries to bunt here.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Misses on the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 2-1.
Three signs, there you go.
Looks down to his third base coach. Foster gets his sign. Lapierre has his. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Paints the outside corner. Count moves to 2-2.
I think that ball was off the plate there, but reasonable job by Grillo. The catch to try and frame that and pull it back in a little bit.
Foster, one of just 3 16-year-olds on this Tecumseh Thunder squad. That one's driven down the right field line and drops into foul territory, keeps the count at 2-2. Cunningham walked to open up this inning. No runs, 1 hit, no error for Team Quebec. No runs, 1 hit, no error for Team Ontario. So far here in the early going of this gold medal game. 2-2 the count. Lapierre checks the runner over first. Here comes the pitch. Off-speed pitch, misses on the outside part of the plate. And Cunningham, good read from the catcher on that one as he saw the ball down in the dirt and advances to second. Runner in scoring position for Team Ontario.
The catcher for Quebec doing a pretty good job of getting down on his knees and blocking that ball, but unfortunately he couldn't grab it before it rolled away from him, and Cunningham read it extremely well.
Yeah, as soon as that ball was down in the dirt, Cunningham was taking off from first. Lapierre looks in, gets a sign. That one's fouled back by Foster and keeps the count at 3-2.
As a pitcher, which you don't want the batter to do in the situation, hit the ball to second base or first base to allow the runner to advance. So what I'd like to do is throw a fastball or a slider inside half here.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Fastball catches Foster looking, 1 out as Lapierre picks up his first strikeout of the evening.
I'm not sure what Foster was looking for there. You got a fastball and 2-strike count, and while it was a little bit low and outside, it certainly wasn't off the plate, so just a little bit of brain freeze there.
Casey Power comes to the plate now, third baseman for Team Ontario. Off-speed pitch misses on the inside part of the plate for ball 1. Labatt Park starting to fill up here as fans come out to see a national title on the line. 1-0 the count. Here comes the pitch. That one's hit to the shortstop. Cunningham tries to go to third. Good play by Martineau to send it over to Richard. They make the play and Cunningham's retired here. 2 outs in the bottom of the second.
Huge base running error there by Cunningham. The standard rule, we talked about this last broadcast, that when you see a ball grounded to your right side and you're a man on second base, you've got to retreat back to second base there because the shortstop's always going to throw to third base. The easiest, the shortest, the quickest play. So just a bad decision by Cunningham.
Takes the runner out of scoring position as Power goes over to first base with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Off-speed pitch for a strike. It'll bring up the number 7 hitter for Team Ontario, Derek Fortier. (0-1) the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Fortier takes that one high and outside, moves the count to 1-1.
Fortier has not been having a very good tournament so far, only hitting .214 coming into the game tonight, when 0 for 2 in the semifinal against London.
1-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. Off-speed pitch catches the inside corner. 1-2 the count. Lapierre looks in, gets a sign. Here comes the pitch. Paints the outside corner for strike 3. Tecumseh's retired in the bottom of the second. Team Quebec goes back to the sticks when we return here on Rogers TV. Team Quebec pride out in full force here for this gold medal matchup. You see the blue and white shining off of those hats in the crowd, the flags flying. Many areas here at Labatt Memorial Park as Team Quebec goes back to the sticks here in the top of the third. Fastball right on the inside corner.
Makes me think of famous Quebecois singer and her song Bye Bye Mon Cowboy, being Mitsu. Not sure if you're familiar with that one, Jeremy.
I don't think I recognize it, but maybe if I heard it. 0-2 the count here.
Well, I think we're talking maybe 1992 or so.
0-2 the count. That fastball misses high, moves the count to 1-2. It's the number 9 hitter for Team Quebec at the plate. Their second baseman. Oh, misses high. Julien Belanger at the plate. 2-2 the count. No outs here in the top of the third. Tim Black on the hill for the Tecumseh Thunder. Gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Misses on the inside part of the plate. Moves the count to 3-2.
Like Tim Black didn't like the way his foot came off the mound there. Not feeling really comfortable on the release there, but he finds out the chance. One more pitch.
That one's fouled straight back. Good job by Belanger fighting that one off. Keeps it at 3-2.
Deflected off both the catcher's and umpire's masks there, but neither of them looked like they were worse for the wear.
Full count pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss by Belanger. 4 straight strikeouts for Tim Black. One away here in the top of the third. 5 straight strikeouts dating all the way back to the bottom of the first.
Tim Black smoking, and most of those strikeouts coming out on the fastball. Really challenging these hitters for Quebec, but they're just not able to catch up to these pitches.
Go back up to the top of the order for Team Quebec, and it's Samuel Groul heading to the plate. Fastball's fouled behind the plate and out of play for strike 1.
There's been so many strikeouts here lately and missed swings and misses that I suspect we're going to see Quebec try and play a little small ball at some point here. If it's not this inning, then next, trying to lay one down and at least put the ball in play.
Black looks in, he gets his sign. Fastball again, fouled straight back by Groul. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball way too high. Ball 1.
You gotta make sure that you gotta rely on your pitch to hit that pitch where your glove is. They'll if they don't throw it anywhere else. If they throw.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. One out here at the top of the third. Paints the outside corner one more time. Make it 6 in a row. 2 outs here in the top of the third.
Well, that ball certainly looked a little bit off the plate, perhaps in the black, perhaps even further than that. But this umpire's been consistent. He's been calling a lot of pitches in that outside part of the plate for both pitchers, so no one can complain about that. And as a leadoff hitter, Rouleau's got to recognize that his job is to put the ball in play. So not a good job there to let that ball go by.
2 outs here in the top of the third inning, and it's going to be the shortstop, Simon Martineau, coming to the plate.
How many balls is he throwing? 4?
Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. That one misses on the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 1-1 now with 2 outs here in the top of the third. No score on the board. Gold medal game of the Canadian Midget Baseball Championships. Off-speed pitch is driven down the right field line, drops down into foul territory, 1-2.
I wonder if some of the fielders for the Tecumseh Thunder are starting to get a little bored out there. 6 strikeouts in a row for Black. Hopefully they're on their toes and they're not going to caught off guard by a stinger to one of them in the infield here.
Swing and a miss there from Martineau. Make it 7 in a row for Black. He trots off the field. Toronto will go back on the sticks when we return here on Rogers TV. We got some fans in the crowd here for this gold medal game, cheering on Team Ontario and Team Quebec. 0-0 the score through 3.5 as Team Ontario comes back to the plate. That one's hit down the first base side to the first baseman. Richard makes the play as they come over. Safe at first base is Lawrence. A good play by the first baseman for the Tecumseh Thunder.
Not sure why the umpire in the situation refused to put his arms out and give the safe call, but quite clearly here would have been safe either on the slide or by due to the fact that the ball was dropped. But for some reason the umpire rolls around to the first base there and just stands there.
That'll bring the number 9 hitter to the plate. He's going to square the bunt and foul that one straight back. So it's going to be an error on the first baseman on that play. Number 9 hitter at the plate, 0-1 the count. Squares the bunt one more time. Pulls back on that one as it's down in the dirt.
Well, we talked about some small ball being played here, and you can see potential for a sacrifice bunt there, but a good job to pull back on that. Obviously a ball in the dirt.
The guy hit 4.
Here comes the pitch. Squares to bunt. First baseman Lapierre makes the play. Throws it over to first base to retire the first. Number 9 hitter with the sacrifice bunt moves Lawrence over into scoring position at second base. A good bunt there by the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, great sacrifice there, doing his job. Although his pitcher is obviously blowing away the Quebec batters, they're going to have to score a run some way.
That will go back up to the top of the order as Curtis Lampkin comes back to the plate for the Tecumseh Thunder here in the bottom of the third inning. Fastball on the inside part of the plate misses for ball 1.
Close pitch there. Nice job of trying to establish the inside part of the plate.
Lampkin flew out to the shortstop in the first inning. Lapierre looks in, gets a sign. Lampkin squares the bunt. Just trickles into foul territory. It'll be strike one.
And that was a situation where they were trying to bunt for a base hit there. Presumably Lampkin saw the third baseman for Quebec playing real deep. He was trying to just get another guy on base here. You can see it there. He wasn't a sacrifice bunt. That's a bunt for a base hit. But unfortunately for him, the ball rolled a little bit foul.
Leadoff hitter. Obviously, he's got some speed for this Team Ontario squad. So a good idea there to try and see that the third baseman's back and bunt for a base hit.
Well, he's even with the bag now, so the secret's out. So he's going to have to try and hit for a single now and hopefully drive in this runner at second base.
1-1 the count, one out here in the bottom of the third inning. That pitch misses on the inside part of the plate for ball two. Troy Lawrence is the guy out at second base. He reached on an error earlier on the first base, and Richard get things going here in the bottom of the third. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Just catches the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 2-2.
Lampkin didn't really like that pitch, but that's okay. Now he's got the 2 strikes. Now he's going to protect. But if you don't like the pitch, then there's no point wasting a swing at it.
2-2 the count. LaPierre looks in, gets a sign. Here comes the pitch. Misses on the outside part of the plate. Counts full at 3-2. Runner at second base for the Tecumseh Thunder here in the bottom of the third inning with one out. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Well outside there to Lampkin as he gets a free pass to first. Runners at first and second here as the number 2 hitter comes to the plate.
See a lot of fan support behind the third base dugout there for the Tecumseh Thunder. Looks like most, if not all, of the London Badgers team has rejoined the rest of the fans out there. There you see all the maroon hats there. And behind them, you see some of the red jerseys there of the team from British Columbia, all collectively cheering as one against the Quebec team here. I'm not sure whether they're cheering for the team from Tecumseh or against the team from Quebec, but nonetheless, a lot of camaraderie over there.
Pitching coach comes out to the mound to talk to LaPierre. Calm his nerves here in the bottom of the third inning. And coming to the plate, the only guy with a base hit for Team Ontario in this early going, Alex Murphy, the second baseman. Singled way back in the first inning. LaPierre looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. Fastball driven right back up the middle, but it's right at the center fielder for Team Quebec. Hard hit ball there by Murphy, but no result as it's just a fly out to center field.
Yeah, very hard hit ball there by Alex Murphy. Just stung that ball, line drive to center field. You can see the center fielder for Quebec, Levesque, taking a couple steps and then dancing there a little bit because that's always a difficult ball to judge, but making a good play ultimately.
Here comes the number 3 hitter for the Tecumseh Thunder, Andrew Cooper. Off for second base is the runner. Takes off, double steal for the Thunder as they put 2 runners in scoring position now. Second and third with 2 outs. Go ahead run just 90 feet away.
Looked like LaPierre just completely forgot about the base runners there, and as a result, the base runners got a very good jump there and just no chance of throwing him out.
One and one the count now to Cooper, the number 3 hitter for the Thunder. LaPierre gets his sign, comes set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, hit over to second base. Belanger is there, makes the play over to first. And Team Quebec gets out of danger here in the bottom of the third. We'll head to the fourth. No score here on Rogers TV. It's the Canadian Midget Baseball Championship. Tim Black back on the mound for the Tecumseh Thunder, looking to keep his momentum going here in the top of the 4th inning. Currently riding 7 straight strikeouts.
Yeah, you heard that right. 7 straight strikeouts, almost all of them with the outpitch being a fastball, just blowing away these batters. I mean, you know, he's clearly throwing harder. We saw in the bronze medal game, pitcher for Ontario had some good, or for London Badgers that is, had some good velocity, but just Quebec's just not able to catch up to this fastball. Tim Black, I said earlier, I estimate it's probably about 83, 84 miles an hour. And for, I guess, the Quebec team just wasn't ready for that kind of speed.
Fastball on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the count here as the number 3 hitter, Christophe Richard, comes to the plate for Team Quebec. That one misses on the outside part of the plate for 1-1.
Sorry about that. The funny thing is, though, I mean, you know, you have this dominant pitching performance going on one side of the game, but it's still a 0-0 ball game. So it only takes one mistake for Quebec to be winning this ball game.
That's exactly it. And if anyone's going to get something going here, it's this part of the order coming in 3-4-5 here in the top of the 4th. No one misses on the inside part of the plate. In high and tight, 2-1 the count.
You know, we've seen it before that the faster the pitcher throws, the further it goes. So if one of these Quebec players, especially these cleanup and number 3 hitters, can really connect, they'll go a long way.
2-1 the count. Fastball driven into center field. Lampkin back on his horse, makes the play. 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
See Christophe Richard there, a very big boy there. Getting some good wood on that ball, but a nice job by Lampkin to track it down, get right underneath it.
Next hitter is the number 4 hitter, Simon Brisebois. He swings at the first pitch and misses. Strike 1.
Well, that finally broke the string of strikeouts that Black had going there, so he set a new precedent of 7 in a row.
Currently at 58 pitches through 3 1/3 is Tim Black.
Well, it's an interesting point you make, Jeremy, because as a result of getting that many strikeouts, you're throwing a lot of pitches. You know, we think about some of the great pitchers in the major leagues, like Roy Halladay and people of that vintage. They tend to get a lot of easy outs because they throw so many strikes. But Black here today, throwing a lot of pitches.
Ball grounded to Power. Easy play there for the third baseman. He throws it over to first. Second out of the inning.
So as a result, here we are in the top of the 4th inning. He's already up to 60 pitches or so. Be interesting to see how much longer they're going to be able to rely on him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we talked about it. There's a 100 pitch limit for a day for each one of these pitchers. So, you know, he's only got 39 left to go now, does Tim Black. That one's stung right to the second baseman. Easy play right there for the second baseman. Team Quebec goes 1, 2, 3. Team Ontario back on the bats when we return here to Labatt Memorial Park. 0-0 the score in this gold medal game, the Canadian Midget Baseball Championship. Great day to stop on the walkway and watch the gold medal game. Out taking your dog for the walk and taking a little ball game.
You see the golden retriever there. Well, both these two teams facing off trying to retrieve that gold medal. What a great segment.
First pitch is an off-speed pitch, misses high and inside, ball one. Cleanup hitter Eric Cunningham is going to start things off for Tecumseh. That ball's hitting high into the air, into right field. Right fielder is back, makes the play, does Simon Langre. One out here in the bottom of the fourth.
You see Cunningham, the ball was up in the air for a long period of time. So we got a lot of wood on that, but just got under it a little too much.
Michael Foster.
Foster comes to the plate now, the right fielder for Team Ontario. Lapierre looks in, gets his sign. Off-speed pitch fouled off Foster for strike one. You can see it underneath Lapierre's hat. All the members of this Team Quebec team going with the Mohawk here for the national championship run. 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back into the screen.
Thank the Lord that none of the teams I played on had someone came up with that idea, because I would look just terrible with a Mohawk.
I don't know if I've got enough hair to have a Mohawk left. So 0-2 the count here with one out in the bottom of the fourth. That off-speed pitch bounces to the plate, gets by the catcher, 1-2. 44 pitches thrown by Lapierre so far. Off-speed pitch misses one more time, moves the count to 2-2.
Yeah, he's getting a lot more easy outs than Black is. A lot of pop-ups, a lot of fly balls, ground balls, so equally as effective.
Ball misses high and inside. 28-19 balls to strike ratio for Lapierre so far in the fourth inning of play in this gold medal matchup, facing off against Michael Foster here at the plate. Full count pitch, paints the outside corner, strike three. Foster goes down looking for the second time tonight.
Yeah, that was just off the plate, but the home plate umpire's been calling that strike all game long for both pitchers, so good job by Lapierre to focus in on that outside corner. The pitch before that must have been a two-seamer, because it had a lot of movement to the right there, tailing away, but then that last pitch, more of a four-seamer right down the outside corner there. Great job.
Off-speed pitch for a strike to start things off to the third baseman, Casey Power. Lapierre gets his sign. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Outside part of the plate, misses for ball one. One and one the count, two outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That one's down in the dirt. 2-1 the count.
See Lapierre really finishing off that slider, not leaving his arm dragging at all, making sure he gets over top of it.
That one screamed into left field, bounces right in front of the left fielder's. Power is going to have a single here with two outs in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, that ball was just drilled, and actually the left fielder for Quebec made a very nice play on that, Jolie, because you don't want to make that ball get past you. So he did a good job coming in. When he realized he couldn't get it, just blocked it down there to make sure it didn't get past him. So a conservative play, but a smart one. In a game like this, it's 0-0, and every single base means a lot.
You want to hold that runner to one base as much as you can, and when he knew he wasn't going to make that catch, good job just to get in front of that one. Pitch misses on the outside part of the plate for ball one. The center fielder comes up for Team Ontario here with two outs in the bottom of the fourth. 1-0 the count, nothing the score. Team Ontario, Team Quebec battling for the gold medal. Swing and fouled back there, 1-1. Lapierre checks the runner over at first, looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Drilled to second base. Belanger throws over to Martineau, makes the play. Team Ontario retired. Nothing the score through 4 innings of play. See if Quebec can get something going here in the top of the fifth. Team Quebec standing, looking to get some momentum going here in the top of the 5th inning. 0-0 the score. And they've only been able to manage one hit off of that man right there, Tim Black, dealing on the hill for Team Ontario.
Black has been mowing down the Quebec team with his fastball, getting lots of strikeouts. There's another pitcher, though, that the Tecumseh Thunder is actually missing this weekend for the tournament, and that's Joel Pierce, a right-handed pitcher who actually got drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in the Major League Draft back in April. And this weekend is down in Arizona training with the Brewers. So it's amazing that they have this many great hard-throwing pitchers that they're still able to come out here in the gold medal game with a dominant pitcher like Tim Black.
First 2 pitches are both for balls, so 2-0 to get things underway here in the top of the 5th inning. And it's the number 6 hitter, Matthew Joly, coming to the plate. Swing, and Joly fouls that one back, straight back, so he just missed that one to move the count to 2-1. Team Quebec hasn't had a runner on base since the very first inning when they got 2 on and put some pressure on Tim Black. Since then, he has been dealing, but he's down 3-1 now to Joly here to kick things off in the top of the 5th. That one misses low and in the dirt. Joly's on first, and a little excitement heading down to first base, trying to get his team up and going here in this 0-0 game.
I'll tell you what, it does not take much to try and get these kids from Quebec excited. Even a walk, you see the smiles in their faces, and they're getting excited in that dugout, and the fans in the stands. They will definitely help this team rise their intensity to the next level.
Now coming to the plate is the designated hitter, Patrick Bouton. So you get a look at the reaction from Matthew Joly as he draws the walk to get things underway here in the 5th, getting all excited.
Well, I tell you, that's a lot of youthful vigor there. But if that ever occurred in the major leagues, I'll guarantee you he'd be dotted with the fastball in the back of his back the next time up. But you just can't afford to do that kind of things here. Obviously, they've got so much on the line here. Every single runner means so much, so you just can't afford to be playing those kind of games.
Black checks Joly back over to first base. 0-1 the count to Boutin. Joly dives back in over at first base. Black keeping a close eye on him. Designated hitter struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Close play over there at first base.
See Patrick Boutin sporting the bionic elbow brace. Gigantic elbow protector like Jeff Bagwell there.
That one paints the outside corner, moves the count to 0-2.
I do see a vuvuzela in the top right corner of the screen right now, so I'm a little bit scared. I don't want to start hearing those.
0-2 the count. No one out here in the top of the 5th inning. That one misses low, moves the count to 1-2. And that marks the 70th pitch of the evening for Tim Black here in the top of the 5th inning. So just 30 pitches left to go before Black will have to come out of this ball game. 1-2, misses on the swing and a miss on the outside part of the plate. Strike him out, throw him out, double play as Cunningham does a good job throwing out Joly down at first.
Yeah, fantastic job by Cunningham. Talked about it in the bronze medal game that if you're going to try and pull out that trick out of your bag of tricks as a catcher, you've got to do it at the right moment, because after that, everyone knows it's coming. And then you see Cunningham did that. He found a great opportunity to peg that runner at first base. A perfect throw.
2 outs now here in the top of the 5th inning as that one's fouled back off the bat of the center fielder for the Team Quebec.
8 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings pitched so far for Tim Black.
That one's fouled back down the first base side and out of play, moves the count to 0-2 here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Tim Black looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one misses high and outside, 1-2. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Outside and in the dirt, moves the count to 2-2. Team Quebec center fielder struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. That one's hit down the first base side. Stays alive at 2-2.
you can see Levesque way behind that fastball there, although it was a little bit jamming him on the inside part of the plate. Let's see Black go right back with the fastball.
That one's hit in the air into right field. Foster moves over, calls off the center fielder, makes the play. Team Quebec's retired. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Still no score in this gold medal matchup here on Rogers TV. Bottom of the fifth inning here at Labatt Memorial Park. No score on the board. Team Ontario, Team Quebec doing battle. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Team Quebec. No runs on 2 hits and no errors for Team Ontario.
Michael, guy making perfect pitches on you or what?
Gabriel Lapierre, number 58, the pitcher for Quebec, has done well in his own right as compared to the pitcher for Windsor Tecumseh. He has done a good job of throwing a lot of strikes, hasn't given up too many walks, and has let his fielders behind him make some plays.
Ty, come on, man!
Swing and a miss there from Tyler Lawrence. Moves the count to 1-1 with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Lapierre looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss from Lawrence. Moves it to 1-2. Lapierre creeping towards the 60 pitch mark here. Swing and a miss from Lawrence on that one, and it's a strikeout swinging for Lapierre to get things underway.
Lapierre does a good job of hitting his spots. You can see the catcher, Grelot, setting up outside there, and Lapierre reaching out and making sure that he gets that ball out there. He did a good job.
Well, comes to the number 9 hitter, the designated hitter for Team Ontario. He'll square to bunt, tries to put it down the line. Richard comes in, makes the play on the run. Great play by the third baseman. Retires the number 9 hitter. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, fantastic play by Christophe Richard there at third base. Charging this ball, making the throw on the run. That's a textbook right there. Great throw, right in the money.
We'll go back up to the top of the order.
I see a lot of major leaguers like to go down there with one hand, just the bare hand, and try and make that same play, and then the wheel from way down low. But the technique there by Richard was excellent there, using both hands to bring the ball into his glove, and then making that throw off his off foot.
We go back to the top of the order, and it's Curtis Lampkin leading things off tonight in this gold medal matchup. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Starts it off with a strike to get things going. That one paints the outside corner, makes it 0-2 as Lampkin was also thinking about laying one down here in the bottom of the fifth.
Trying to get something going here, trying to put some runners on base. We talked about earlier, Lampkin having the wheels. Gotta use them.
That one misses on the outside part of the plate. Good 2-strike pitch there, makes it 1-2. Lapierre looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He did not go, says the third base umpire. That's going to be a ball and moves the count to 2-2. Team Quebec thought they had it there on that one.
Very close there. Hard to tell from up here in the booth.
2-2 the count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the fifth. That pitch misses just a little high and moves the count to 3-2.
He's been working on that outside corner, but now he's got to come right down the middle so he's going to put the winning run on base.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That one's driven to the first baseman right there as Brisebois makes the play. Sides retired. We head to the top of the 6th inning. No score on the board. Team Quebec back on the sticks when we return. Team Quebec enjoying a little take me out to the ball game here as we head into the top of the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Team Quebec. No runs on 2 hits and no errors for Team Ontario. Tim Black enters this inning for Team Ontario. 77 pitches through 5 innings of work. He's going to have to deal with the number 9 hitter. Belanger will follow that one off. Julien Belanger up to bat for Team Quebec.
Well, good for Belanger. Nice and aggressive up there with that first swing. Fouling it off there, but you'd expect him to try and work the pitches here. See if they can get him over the 100 pitch mark.
That one paints the inside corner, moves the count to 0-2.
And now it's not the only side of the plate that's generous. The outside half getting a lot of calls earlier in the game, but that pitch a little bit off to play the inside half. Really big zone here tonight.
That one just misses on the outside part of the plate, moves the count to 1-2. Belanger leading things off here for Team Quebec in the top of the 6th. That one misses high and moves the count to 2-2. Swing and a miss there from Belanger as it's number 9 for Tim Black. Strikeout number 9. 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Black just continuing to smoke away these batters for Quebec, but here he is now at the top of the order, 0-0. You can see.
As we look down into the bullpen of Team Quebec, Simon Langer starting to warm up for Team Quebec here in the top of the 6th. That pitch catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the count. That one's down in the dirt. Moves it to 1-1. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Nothing our score. Only 3 hits so far here in this gold medal contest. That pitch misses high, moves it to 2-1.
Absolute pitchers duel going on here. Tim Black, the one throwing a little bit harder and has a few more strikeouts, but the end result is the same with no score here and very few hits.
That ball also misses high as Tim Black's pitch count starts to get up. He's moving towards 85, 86 pitches here in the top of the 6th. Time called by the batter, Gould. 3-1 the count, 1 out here. Top of the 6th. That one's hit down to third base. Power does a good job of staying down on that one. Throw over to first, makes the play. 2 outs here at the top of the 6th.
Very nice play by Plower there, and good of him to take control of that ball rather than letting it get into that deep pocket there between shortstop and third, where it'd be an almost impossible throw to get out the leadoff hitter. Great job by Power.
That brings to the plate the shortstop for Team Quebec, Simon Martineau. First pitch is a fastball, swing and a miss for strike one.
Yeah, Black's starting to leave some of those fastballs a little bit higher, almost belt high. But Quebec still not being able to capitalize on it, just swinging right through it.
Another fastball is high, but Martineau goes after it. 0-2. 0-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Black retires the side. 10 strikeouts on the board. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still nothing on the board here in this gold medal game. Back here at the Labatt Memorial Park as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Lapierre back on the hill for Team Quebec as we see some action start to go down in the Team Ontario bullpen. That's because Tim Black has now reached the 90 pitch mark, which means he's got 10 pitches left into him. Once he hits that 100 pitch mark, he gets to finish the batter he's facing, but then he will have to come out of the game and a relief pitcher will have to come in. So Tim Black, just 10 pitches left before he will need to be taken out of the ball.
Well, that's going to be exciting, Jeremy, because the way he's pitching, it could just throw 10 pitches and strike out the side. We'll see how many guys he can get out.
We'll go back to the number 2 hitter for Team Ontario to start things off. Alex Murphy get things underway here for Team Ontario. Watches the first pitch inside for ball 1.
Well, what you really like to do as the home team here is get your lead and then get 3 outs and call it a day. So this is the inning where Windsor-Tecumseh needs to manufacture a run here, and no one better to do it than your 2, 3, 4 guys coming up here. If they get a guy on here, what you like to do is either steal a bag or lay a bunt down to get him to scoring position.
Lapierre paints the outside corner with that one for strike 1. That one misses in the dirt. 2-1 the count now. No outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're nothing the score in this gold medal game here at Labatt Park. 2-1 pitch. Catches the outside part of the plate with a fastball. Makes it 2-2.
Murphy is one of the 2 Windsor-Tecumseh players who have hit so far today, so trying to look to go to 2 for 3 at this at bat.
Lapierre with the 2-2 pitch. That one misses high and outside, moves to 3-2. Lapierre only having 71 pitches thrown through to this point. Fastball hit down the third baseline. Good play by the shortstop, just not able to get it over, but a good job by Martineau to keep it in the infield as Alex Murphy gets an infield single.
Yeah, that's the ball we talked about last thing. It's really important to see if your third baseman can come pick that off, but where he was playing close to the line, and reasonably so, because you don't want to give up that extra base hit, he's unable to knock that ball down. So once your shortstop gets that ball, he's just got no chance. He's so deep in the hole there.
Andrew Cooper at bat now for Team Ontario. He squares the bunt. That one's fouled straight back.
Well, this is the coach of David Cooper, the head coach for the Tecumseh Thunder. We'll see how well they've worked on bunts so far in his lifetime, but huge crucial situation here to sacrifice yourself for the team.
0-1 the count, no outs. That one misses.
He's got to keep that bat head above the barrel of his hands so he can get the right trajectory on this bunt. Otherwise, he'll pop it up.
That one's dropped down the third baseline. Good bunt by Cooper. Richard with the play, throws it away. Good play by the second baseman. Belanger to back up that throw, saving what could have been a runner at third base.
Really long run there for Richard for Quebec. He had to run in from third base a long way because you see this bunt, very short bunt. He makes a throw off play, but as you mentioned, Belanger for second base, the second baseman for Quebec, making a fantastic play there to cover up there, dive and make that stop there. Otherwise, you would have seen Murphy for Tecumseh getting all the way to third base for certain.
You see the London Badgers there cheering on the Tecumseh Thunder as the Team Quebec coach comes out to talk to his pitcher and talk to his infield, get things straightened out on what they want to do here with runners on first and second. No one out here.
Well, there's a play you can do in this situation to try and get that lead runner, and that's if you see the bunt squaring early, you got your shortstop charging towards third base as your third baseman comes in. I suspect they might try and do that in this situation to get the lead runner, but we'll see how they set up. It's a timing play. The pitcher's got to watch the shortstop. Shortstop usually gets a little bit close to where that runner is, puts a little bit of weight next to him, and then runs towards third. You can see here that no, they're playing at home, and they're just going to try and get an out.
That pitch misses high and inside for ball one.
So if you're the batter, Cunningham, where you want to bunt this ball is to third base, force that third baseman to charge in.
There's the bunt. Down the third base line. Well foul. Cunningham just trying to give himself up here. Got to get the bunt down in this situation.
Yeah, Cooper did a good job of adjusting himself after fouling one off and able to make the bunt in a second attempt. Let's see if Cunningham can do the job.
1-1 the count. No one out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Nothing the score. Lapierre fakes the play to second base. Fans in the stands calling balk on that one, but no call from the umpires here. Out on the field, 1-1 the count. Cunningham spares the bunt. Gets that one down the third base line. Richard, nowhere to go, nowhere in covering first base on that play, and we're going to have bases loaded with no one out. Mental mistake by Team Quebec.
That's really, it's really interesting to see, particularly given that the manager for the Quebec team went out to specifically talk about everyone's duties in this situation. But obviously, the message not getting through to the first baseman and second baseman as to who's covering that bag there. They should have at least had that one out at first base. There you see the catcher for Quebec talking to his pitcher, telling me you're coming home on this one. So if there's a comebacker, they're going to go to home and then try and get to first. So after a 0-0 ball game, and a lot of zeros on that scoreboard, in the bottom of the sixth here, Team Tecumseh with a chance to break it open.
This is their shot to get something going. Infield in. Bases loaded. Off-speed pitch. Outside part of the plate for strike one. And it's Michael Foster, the right fielder, at the plate for Team Ontario.
Obviously a very pressure situation for a pitcher. In this situation, you've got to throw strikes. Lapierre starting off this at-bat with a very nice slider.
That pitch, fly ball, hit into right field. Landry was playing in. It's over his head. That's going to score a bunch. 1 run in. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes the third one. Throw to third. He's in with a triple as Michael Foster, and this game just got broken wide open. 3-0 the score for Team Ontario. A 3-run triple off the bat of Michael Foster.
Fantastic job by Michael Foster, going with this pitch and driving it well over the head of the right fielder, Landry. Landry playing conspicuously shallow there in that situation. But a great job by the base runners for the Windsor team to come all the way around the bases and score 3 runs on that.
Great hit there by Foster. Does a great job of getting the ball over the right fielder's head, ending up on third, driving all 3 runs in. And right now, he is the hero in this one, giving Ontario a 3-0 lead. Off-speed pitch for a strike there to the number 5 hitter, Casey Power. Power chops that one down the line. Going to be foul, moves the count to 0-2. No one warming up in Team Quebec's bullpen, but they did warm up their right fielder, Simon Langeret, during the top of the 6th inning. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. Good block there by the catcher to keep it in front of him and keep that runner at third.
Yeah, really nice block there by Grillo. You see the ball bouncing well in front of home plate there, but he did a good job standing up and taking it off the chest, detonating it. Save himself a run there from third base. You've got to have confidence in your catch in that situation. An 0-2 count, you want to throw that ball in the dirt, a man on third base, you've got to have real confidence in the catcher to block that ball.
Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's driven into center field. Going to fall in front of the center fielder, and another run's going to come around to score as Foster comes in, crosses the plate. 4-0 the score in favor of Team Ontario. Casey Power with an RBI single.
Wow, Tecumseh just blowing it open this inning here. Now 7 hits in the ball game. See the nice hit by Power there, driving it to the outfield. I suspect this is going to be the end of the road here for Lapierre. They're going to have to go to their relief pitcher now.
Yeah, as you see, Simon Langeret walking in from out in right field as the rain starts to come down here quite heavily at Labatt Park.
And you can see now the coach pointing to the right fielder. Landry's going to come in and close this thing up for Quebec. We'll take a break right now, but we'll be right back with more of the Canadian Midget Baseball Championships here at Labatt Memorial Park on Rogers TV.
And when it rains, it pours, both on the field and off the field as the rain starts coming down heavy. And Team Ontario has busted this thing wide open. 4 runs in this 6th inning to take a 4-0 lead over Team Quebec in this gold medal game. The right fielder comes in, number 67, Simon Langeret, to bring in some relief as we get another look at the RBI triple off the bat of Michael Foster.
There you see the right fielder, Landry, now pitching, playing way too shallow there and not having a great deal of range there. You can see in terms of his wheels. By the time he goes up to pick up that ball, all 3 base runners cross the base paths. And there you see Foster excited with himself at third base there, getting a high five from the base coach. It's raining pretty hard, but they're going to have to finish this one. This is the gold medal game of the Midget Canadian Baseball Championships.
Looks like he's squaring the bunt. That one's well into the dirt and gets by to the backstop. Power advances to second base on that one.
If I'm the pitcher right now, I'm looking at the umpire just shaking my head and throwing my hands in the air, trying to blame it on something. As Millie Vanilli used to say, blame it on the rain. Because that ball was way off.
That rain is coming down pretty hard here at Labatt Memorial Park. Get another look at it here. First pitch just comes in and straight into the dirt. Runner advances to second. Again, square to bunt. That pitch misses high and outside, moves the count to 2-0. Center fielder for Team Ontario at bat here. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one's popped straight up into the air, back into the screen, strike one. Officials are checking the radar here at the Labatt Memorial Park.
And the umpire there pointing to the to his ear there to advise the people in the booth to turn off the music. I was concerned he was pointing up to his ears because he thought he had heard thunder or something and wanted to call the game. Fortunately not.
2-1 the count here. No outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. 4 runs on the board for Team Ontario. That one's down to the first baseman. He's going to go over to third with the throw. Safe at third. Close play at third base, but a good job by Power to sneak under that tag. Safe at third. Runners at first and third now, still no one out.
A very questionable decision by the first baseman there, Brisebois. You can see, although he got the ball quickly, you should have been able to see that the runner had a very good jump on that. And trying to go for that lead runner is a bit of a risky decision. As it is now, Tecumseh has runners on first and third, and you see the catcher for Quebec putting in some signs on yet again.
Still no one out here in this bottom of the 6th inning. Team Ontario busting out with 4 runs.
See the infield for Quebec playing regular depth. The middle infield hoping for a double play, despite the fact that a ground ball would score yet another run from third base.
1-0 the count. Four nothing the score in favor of Team Ontario here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Langer looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the pitch. That one's hit through the side. Hit and run was on. Here comes the throw to third base. Offline. Run scores. RBI single off the bat of Lawrence.
Lawrence doing his job there in that situation, is putting the ball into play on the right side of the field, allowing his runner to score from third base. Fortunately for him, big hole over there, and he puts it right through. Nice throw there by the right fielder for Quebec, but a good job by Richard there to recognize that we can't let that ball get by him. Got to knock it down somehow.
5-0 the score now in favor of Team Ontario. The rain is certainly coming down here at Labatt Memorial Park. Gold medal game, 5-0. 5 runs on 9 hits and no errors for Team Ontario. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Team Quebec. The designated hitter now comes to the plate for Team Ontario. Here comes the pitch. That one's down, misses low, 1-0 the count. Team Ontario bats busting out for 5 runs in this inning. That one's hit high in the air. Fouled back out of play for strike 1, 1-1 the count.
Very difficult for kids of this age to be able to get themselves out of these type of situations. Obviously the kids from Quebec at this point feel like there's nothing they can do, right? Every time they throw to a bag, this guy gets in or they misthrow it. Just feeling really frustrated right now and having a hard time getting any outs.
That ball misses high and outside, moves the count to 2-1. 2-1 the count, no one out. Runners at first and third. Swing and a miss for strike 2, 2-2.
It's not going to make it any easier that this ball is going to be a little bit slick if it gets any ground balls to the infield or gets to the outfield. It'll make it all the more difficult and challenging on them to try and get out of this jam.
Pitcher looks in, he's got his sign. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So we finally have the first out here in this bottom of the 6th inning.
Runner for Ontario. The left fielder, number 28, Neil Henke. Curtis Lampkin.
Curtis Lampkin coming to the plate, back to the top of the order for Team Ontario. Lampkin 0 for 2 so far this evening. Walked and stole a base back in the 3rd inning. Lined out to first base in his last at bat. Here comes the pitch. Squares the bunt, knocks that one down the third base side, but into foul territory for strike 1.
Lampkin's attempted to lay one down on several occasions, but just unable to keep it in fair territory so far. He needs to just get in that batter's box and keep this game moving along quickly before it gets called. Someone on that Tecumseh team needs to get in charge and tell these batters just get in that box.
0-1 the count. Swing and foul down the third base side.
See, it's like Lampkin does everything really slow, doesn't he? Just long, deliberate swing. Holds his bat out. He's in no hurry whatsoever. Look at him.
0-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5 runs for Team Ontario in this half of the inning. Runners at first and third. That pitch is down in the dirt. Not able to get in from third base. Stay with runners at first and third. 1-2 the count now with 1 out.
See Landry there making some arm motions there, as if he's just trying to remind himself of that arm angle, that arm slot that he wants to have, that 90-degree arm slot. Either that or he's got a sore rotator cuff. He's just trying to get it loose.
1-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Rain is coming down here at Labatt Park. Gold medal game, 5-0 in favor of Team Ontario. That pitch misses low, moves the count to 2-2. Third base umpire said Lampkin did not go around on that one. Two and 2 the count. Landry looks in, gets the sign. That one's fouled off of Lampkin's foot. Keeps the count at 2-2.
See, the boys from Tecumseh don't care if it's raining. They're out there excited on the top of their step, knowing that they're only 3 outs away from the gold medal.
2-2 the count. Lampkin continues to battle here as Landry continues to battle with the strike zone. 16 pitches, 9 balls. 7 balls, actually 9 strikes so far. 2-2 the count here. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Lampkin, a pesky leadoff hitter for the Tecumseh Thunder here. Just putting his bat on anything close here with 2 strikes.
Safe at second base there on the play. Lawrence able to advance to second.
Yeah, the early advance there by the base runner at first base for London, and nobody yelling Quebec for the pitcher to step off. So by the time he steps off and turns and throws to second base, the runner's already almost by him. You want to be able to make that step off, check your runner at third, and throw to second base immediately. So you have the second base and running that runner back to first base.
2-2 the count. 1 out. Runners at second and third. That one misses on the inside part of the plate. Moves the count to 3-2 now.
Landry really laboring through this inning here.
Looks in, gets his sign. 3-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. Fouled down the first base side.
And you got to feel bad for him. Not only is he coming into the game from right field without the adequate warm-up you usually have as a relief pitcher in the bullpen, but he's also come in with it pouring rain and runners he's inherited on base, although now the runners on base are his own. It's a very difficult situation. He's having a lot of difficulty getting that final strike.
3-2 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. That one's hit in the air to left field. Center fielder comes over, makes the play. Run will score on the sac fly by Lampkin, and that makes this game 6-0.
It's the replay there, that early break there from the runner from Windsor. But still finding himself out there at second base, so he's still in scoring position. There you see the fly ball. Looks like the left or the center fielder there didn't even want to make an attempt to throw it at home plate there. Just giving up on the run.
And we're back to where we started in this inning. Team Ontario has batted around as we head back to the second baseman, Alex Murphy, coming to the plate. Singled and scored back when this inning got underway. That ball misses high and inside, 1-0. One and 0 the count. Here comes the pitch. Fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike one. 1-1, 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 6 runs on the board for Team Ontario. 6-0 lead over Team Quebec here in this gold medal game at Labatt Park, the Canadian Midget Baseball Championships. Murphy 2 for 3 so far on the season. That one's there for strike 2, moves the count to 1-2. The Quebec reliever just looking to do anything he can to get out of this inning and get back on the sticks. 1-2 the count, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch. Misses high and inside, 2-2. It's got to be tough in this rain to get any grip on a curveball.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're going to be throwing a curveball, it's almost worthwhile just throwing the ball into the umpire and getting a clean one every single time.
2-2 the count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. Runner at second base. Here comes the pitch. That one's hit in the air down the first base side, but it's going to be out of play. And may have woken up one of our cameramen down the first base side. That one just landed within a mere matter of feet down there. So 2-2 the count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the sixth. That one misses outside on the off-speed pitch for ball 3. Full count as the runner advances over to third on the stolen base. Lawrence takes another bag. Fouled straight back by Murphy. Stays alive at 3-2.
Murphy just missed that one. He was right on top of that pitch and just missed it. Could easily been driving in the 7th run with that swing. Lander doing a good job with this 3-2 count here. Still throwing strikes, not giving up this walk. He's fighting hard, trying to get out of this inning.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. That one's popped into the air in the infield. Belanger's back, waves off his fielders, and makes the play. The inning is over, but not before Team Ontario scores 6. 6-0 the score as we head into the 7th. Good shot of Tim Black. He's been waiting a long time to get back out there for this top of the 7th inning. He's got 10 pitches left in his pitch count before he will have to say goodbye to this contest. So we'll see if he can get things done before that point. 3 outs remain between Team Ontario and a gold medal Canadian championship.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Tim Black does here after he's been sitting on the bench for the last half an hour to 45 minutes as he watched his team decimate the pitching of Quebec. He's put up 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. As you mentioned, he only has the 10 plus pitches left, depending on what pitch he's at when his last batter comes to the plate. But it'll be interesting to see if he's able to throw strikes immediately, whether it's going to take a little time to find his zone again.
Start things off here in the top of the 7th. Strike one on the fastball by Tim Black. That's not what he wanted. Catcher threw it away. Ball goes into the grass. So they'll switch one up. Get a dry ball there for him.
That would be a wonderful story if he could get out of this inning without having to go to anyone in the bullpen. Obviously, he's got to throw a lot of strikes and hope for some easy outs. That should be out number 1.
Is hit in the air to the third baseman, Coop Power. Power makes the play to retire the first batter.
Tim Black just having an outstanding game on the mound for Tecumseh. He's got a 1-hit shutout going right here with 10 strikeouts. There you see the batter for Quebec throwing his bat in disgust. Not able to do much with that inside pitch. Jammed a little bit there and only able to pop it out. Surprised at how calm the players are for Tecumseh in the field. They're looking very, very calm, very composed. Not yet thinking about that final out.
Simon Brisebois will come into the plate for Team Quebec here. Tim Black, 92 pitches. He's got 8 more left to work with. And if he can get it out on this batter before he reaches the 100 mark, he'll have a chance to close this one out. That ball in the air, down the first base line. We'll see if Florence can get to it. It's out of play for strike one. Oh, 1 the count here. 1 out in the top of the 7th inning. Just 2 outs away from a national title for the Tecumseh Thunder. Here comes the pitch. That one misses high for ball 1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Hidden in the air to left field. Lampkin takes a step back. Now he's coming in. Makes the play for out number 2 and avoids his shortstop who lost his shoe. But the play is made. Out number 2, a fly ball to the left fielder. And Tim Black is going to have an opportunity to finish this thing out for the Tecumseh Thunder.
He almost a mishap there. It took a long time before Cooper to seat Wade Lampkin to come and take that ball as a left fielder. Finally doing so, but almost tripping in the process. As you mentioned, here's Tim Black. Getting 1 more out. Only at 95 pitches. He's got a chance here to clean it up, get a complete game shutout. Only a 1-hitter so far.
And that hit happened all the way back in the first inning of this contest. That one's fouled off down the third base side, net of play for strike 1. It's going to be the pitcher, relief pitcher for the Team Quebec squad, Simon Langer, coming to the plate.
Got to think that if Tim Black can shut this game down right here, he's going to be the MVP of this team.
That's a ground ball to the second baseman, off his leg. It's going to be a hit, a second hit for the pitcher. As Simon picks up a hit right there, tough play for the second baseman, not able to make the play.
It's a tough play, but I'm not so sure that's going to be an error. He might have slid a little bit, but really if he just stood up and made a backhanded play, I don't think you can call anything that a player messes up from their backhand side an error necessarily, but nonetheless, not a big deal. The important thing is that Tim Black hasn't reached his 100 pitch mark, and as a result, he's able to try it yet again with this next batter to finish the game.
98 pitches now for Tim Black, so if he gets this one, that ball is drilled down the left field line and out of here. Goodbye. Team Quebec gets on the board. A home run by the left fielder, Matthew Jallet. And Team Quebec is on the board, make it 6-2.
Well, that was absolutely crushed. And it's a wonder that this didn't happen earlier because Black's throwing fastballs. He's been throwing fastballs almost all game long and leaving a lot of them up in the zone. And there you see Joly catching up to it, and you don't even see the ball in that picture there. That thing left the park halfway up the trees behind the left field fence. Just an absolutely crushed home run. Perhaps a bit of a too excessive of a celebration, given that his team is still 1 out away from losing this ball game. A little bit too excited for his own self-achievement as opposed to the team's defeat here tonight, at least what appears to be going to be their silver medal finish, but nonetheless, an absolute bomb.
And the bomb happens at 99 pitches for Tim Black. So he's going to have one more opportunity left to try and close this game out for Team Ontario.
It'd be a bit of a bittersweet ending here for Black. Certainly it would have been a fantastic story if he'd ended the game with a complete game shutout. But nonetheless, a complete game, a 10 strikeout game at that, would still be a fantastic finish for this big righty.
That pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. That will be pitch 100 for Tim Black. So if he does not get this out, he will have to come out of this game. Paints the inside corner for strike 1. 1-1 the count.
See Black just as focused as he was in the first inning.
That pitch misses on the outside part of the plate. 2-1 the count now. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. 6-2 the score in favor of Team Ontario. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Real nice pitch there by Black. Here he is. Got him where he wanted him. 1-2. Like that 2-2. See the people behind home plate standing up now and around the ballpark, hoping for Black to finish this game with a strike 3.
2-2 pitch, 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. Tim Black looks in, gets his sign. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. On the inside corner, the Tecumseh Thunder are your Canadian champions.
Fantastic ball game for the Tecumseh Thunder. See them celebrating there on the field. Really excited. Looks like they're about to lift up Tim Black in the air possibly. He had a fantastic pitching performance, an unbelievable line until that last home run. He had a one-hitter, complete game shutout going until that home run by Quebec, but nonetheless a fantastic pitching performance, a dominant one at that. 11 strikeouts for Tim Black. The Tecumseh Thunder, the favorites coming into this tournament and coming into the medal round undefeated. They went completely undefeated in this tournament. And there you see some of the other teams, the London Badgers, the Team BC, all supporting the Windsor team from Windsor-Tecumseh.
The Tecumseh Thunder, your Canadian Midget champions for 2010. 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning to take this one. What a game. Zeros across the board until we reach the 6th. Offenses exploded in the bottom of the 6th and top of the 7th, but it was the Tecumseh Thunder, your 2010 Canadian Midget baseball champions. We will be back to wrap this thing up right after this here on Rogers TV. Tim Black, what a performance, leading the Tecumseh Thunder to the 2010 Canadian Midget Baseball Championships back here at Labatt Memorial Park. 6-2 the final in favor of Team Ontario over Team Quebec. And I have to say, after a pitcher's duel through 5 innings, the offense exploded in the 6th and 7th.
They sure did. Both pitchers doing really well starting out. Quebec pitcher Gabriel Lapierre having a very good game in his own right. Not as many strikeouts as the pitcher from Windsor-Tecumseh, but doing a very good job of throwing a lot of strikes, keeping the batters off balance. But eventually, in the top of the 6th inning, Tecumseh exploded with 6 runs, getting a lot of hits in a row, and just bringing that pitcher for Quebec out of the game.
Talk a little bit about Tim Black. An unbelievable performance, 11 strikeouts, at one point 7 in a row.
Unbelievable. I mean, we started out watching him earlier in the ball game, noticing that he had a little bit more velocity than other pitchers we had seen so far in this tournament, and he definitely was overpowering that Quebec team. He wasn't mixing it up. He didn't go away from the program. He threw a steady diet of fastballs straight by those Quebec batters, and as you mentioned, 11 strikeouts. He had a complete game shutout with one hit going into that very last inning until that massive home run we saw for Quebec.
Talk a little bit about that massive home. These are midget kids. I've seen senior baseball players who haven't hit it that well out of this park.
No, I mean, we followed the IBL, London Majors throughout the season. We saw a couple big home runs, but that was just as big as the home runs we saw from some of the 20, 22, 23-year-olds. So that was just but that's what happens when you have power versus power. When you throw the ball as hard as Tim Black does, it's going to go a long way, too, when you get hit, just like A.J. Burnett, for example.
So recapping, at 6-2 the final in this gold medal game. We also had the bronze medal game here tonight. The London Badgers are the bronze medalists from the 2010 Canadian Midget Championships, and obviously it's got to be a good feeling for them to escape from this on home soil with a bronze medal. Yeah,
it's a great story. I mean, the City of London has not hosted a Canadian Baseball Championship in many years, in fact, decades. So it's nice for the 1 year that it was hosted that the team from London, the London Badgers, put on a good show. They came very close to making the gold medal game, but losing 3-0 to Quebec in the semifinals. So they ended up getting the job done against BC in the bronze medal game. So at least come in with a little bit of hardware.
14 innings of baseball we watched today. How impressed are you with the competitiveness of Canadian midget baseball?
Oh, it's very strong. They have a number of these players are going to be going to play college baseball down south, whether it be Division I, II, or NAIA. The coaching is fantastic. London Badgers at the very top caliber of coaching. Obviously, Mike Lumley runs a fantastic program here in London. Also coaches for the UWO Mustangs. So you're getting a fantastic system here in London. Just create, building those players up from year to year and being able to bring home championships like this.
Team Ontario are your 2010 Canadian Midget Champions. The Tecumseh Thunder take it away. That's it for us here at Rogers TV. For everyone watching at home, I'm Jeremy Parking saying goodnight. We'll see you next time.
tournament this weekend. What a fantastic crowd tonight.